Hey, what is up guys, it is Ryzun and welcome back to the channel. So the Battlefield 1 Gamescom trailer has been unveiled and we see a huge amount of new stuff being introduced to us in this video. You can find the link to the video down in the description below, but without further ado, let's get into the trailer. So let's start with stating the obvious. Here we see a brand new map located in the desert in the first few frames of the reveal. This new map is called Sinjar Desert and it focuses on the British forces clashing swords with the Ottoman Empire. Very brutal and fast paced cavalry charges that are open to players using horses, swords and anti-tank grenades. Yes, you can use the AT grenades whilst on horseback, so I imagine a lot of drive-by grenading will be done on maps like this, where heavy tanks are also available. Here, we get to see the first scenes of a new behemoth vehicle, the Armoured Train. It looks like it's armed with anti-air flak cannons, anti-personnel machine guns, and anti-tank weaponry. So we could see a fair few seats being opened to us on this absolute monster of a vehicle. Next, we see another shot from the new elite classes in Battlefield 1. Here's the Sentry Elite class. He's wearing what looks to be heavy armor, which is bulletproof, and wielding a heavy machine gun. As we see here, a young scout decides to take a shot at the sentry, and he looks about, has a little giggle to himself, and then proceeds to skull fuck the entire enemy team. I could possibly see this class only being taken down from behind or the sides. If you take a look up at the helmet he's wearing, it only covers his face and not much else. So if you see this guy running around the battlefield, run away and try to flank him, because whilst he might not be bulletproof from behind, he's probably going to take a good amount of shots to land the kill. Now, in Battlefield 1, I really hoped for some cool dynamic map elements, and this trailer gives us a short glimpse at one of hopefully many awesome in-game events. As the video fades to black somewhere in the middle, it returns to the pilot's view from a bomber, following a fighter from right to left. As the fighter swoops down from the right and cuts across the front of the bomber, we see an absolutely ginormous sandstorm heading towards them. If Sinjar Desert wasn't already chaotic enough, then chaos just got moved to a whole new level. Highly limited visibility, maybe even some movement impairments, who knows. But from what we can see, the bomber basically hits a brick wall when the storm hits, so I could see this knocking out air power for some time during the game. So here we also see a soldier transferring his weapons whilst on horseback. As he rides through the ruins, the player holsters his rifle and switches to his sword on the left side of the horse. So this will allow players to actively change their weapons while on the move. Here we see a dogfight taking place above a pretty intense ground chase. The two fighters are chasing each other through the desert, and I absolutely love this shot right here. The two planes flying under the overpass and still engaging each other along the way. This looks totally awesome. Next, we see a soldier charging towards a 50-ton heavy tank and oh, no, never mind, he's fucked. Jumping back to the behemoth train really quickly, we see a shot from the driver's seat of the vehicle. Hopefully, this means we're able to actually man the controls of all the behemoth vehicles in Battlefield 1. So, here's something really interesting. What you see on screen right now is a weapon that I've personally never seen before. After doing some research, I was still unable to find the make or model of the weapon that the player is wielding. The only weapon I could think of this being would be a Lewis gun variation or something entirely different. I'm honestly not sure. In this same scene, there's a brand new vehicle that we can see the player firing at. In the footage, we can see that there are German markings on the vehicle, but it doesn't correlate to any of the known World War I ground vehicles of the German Empire. I guess we'll have to wait until the beta to find out more about this vehicle and what it has to offer. Next, we see what looks to be more melee animations. Here, we see a soldier literally hacking the shit out of a guy on the floor with his sword. These animations are looking amazing at this point for the melee aspect of Battlefield 1. So here we have the infamous flamethrower dude. I could probably see this being another one of the elite classes in Battlefield 1, as giving everyone a flamethrower maybe isn't the way to achieve a good balance on the battlefield. The flamethrower will of course have fairly limited range, and I can see it being a ton of fun to operate. In this next clip, we see what I've been hoping for in Battlefield since Bad Company 2, air-to-sea combat. With the addition of the battleship class behemoth vehicle in Battlefield 1, players obviously need something to counter it to stop it from being game-breakingly overpowered. So, here's our counter-attack to the battleship. Torpedo bombers. Back in World War I, the main torpedo bomber for the British Empire was the Sopwith T1 Cuckoo. It was the first of its kind and was useless for anything other than putting large holes in the sides of enemy warships. It carried a 1,000 pound aerial torpedo that would travel just below the surface of the waterline, leaving a large impact hole on the hull of a targeted ship. Air-to-sea combat is something I find super intense in any game that really offers it. As soon as the torpedo bomber is on the scene, every single anti-air team on a ship just starts lighting them up like a fucking Christmas tree. Flak cannons, tracers from machine guns, the whole 9 yards. Taking out these battleships will probably take a good few torpedo hits or a magazine hit from a bomber dropping a regular impact bomb from above. Anyway guys, that's going to end off this trailer. We also have some great news that the Battlefield 1 open beta will be starting August 31st on all platforms. Battlefield insiders will receive further news on accessing the beta early, so be on the lookout in your inboxes for that. So that's going to end off this video, folks. Be sure to leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a thumbs down if you didn't. Be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all of my future content. And until next time, folks, I've been Ryzen, and I'll see you in the next video.